Just take a look around. I guess you don't have a clue. I wish that I was more like you, wrapped in a cotton shroud. Oh, what have they done to you? Just look what you've become. I wish you knew that your point of view was planted in your brain. The words you say are just cut and paste. They fool you once again. It's been a long, time coming. I hope that you jump on the ride. Jump on the ride. Jump on the ride. You got that look in your eye, glaze over when I try to make you understand. If you don't get on the train, nothing left will remain. They'll tear the whole thing down. You better get on this train. Don't get left behind. I wish you knew that your point of view was planted in your brain. The words you say are just cut and paste. They fool you once again. It's been a long, time coming. I hope that you jump on the ride. It's been a long, time coming. I hope that you jump on the ride. Yeah, jump on the ride. Yeah, jump on the ride. Yeah, jump on. Jump on the ride. Yeah, jump on. Jump on the ride.
Well, that was an excellent new song from Mr. Good, who is also known as Business of Truth on Telegram. I like to support him. He is amazing. He had that Where We Go, One We Go All song before. You can find him on Rumble at Mr. Good Music, and he's got many ways to donate. So go look up his music and show him some love and support.
I was not prepared for that video to end.
It
Enjoying it way too much.
was good, wasn't it?
So good.
Yeah, he is really good. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to Questions Worth Pondering. We have some questions worth pondering tonight. How are you doing, Moxie?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. We'll probably have to make it a little bit of a short show tonight. We were going to cover the IRS, and we are switching gears, and I had a migraine earlier today, so
you too?
Oh, did you as well? Did you? Yeah, so I'm I don't know. I think I'm still in recovery mode from that. So but I see we've got Herbie in chat, Magnolia, we've got Deplorable Mike. Oh, so good to see you guys. So good to see you guys. So our question worth pondering tonight is, why were the Trump court docs redacted? This is going to be interesting. I haven't had time to go look at all the court records to see Are there more redacted docs? But I feel like this is a huge, huge story.
It
And
is.
so I'd love to start talking about it and bringing it up and highlighting it because, wow, my mouth just dropped open when I saw Julie Kelly's Twitter post or X, it's X now, X post earlier. And I put together, I downloaded her images of all the redacted docs, and then she had like images unredacted. So I highlighted the unredacted ones where they were redacted so we can go through and talk through some of those.
Absolutely.
And yeah. But do you have any initial thoughts before we get started?
I was just going through my day, just like any normal day, and then I got off of work and saw that, and my mouth also dropped open, and I was like, "Oh boy, this is just the beginning."
It's a big one. It's huge. I know I posted the thread earlier, but I feel like this is a big, big blockbuster story. I think there'll be more buzz about it in the coming days.
I
Um,
think so too.
but I don't know if you guys had a chance to go and look, but it's pretty, pretty amazing. Hey, Carrie's in chat too. Carrie. Hey, Carrie. So we're going to cover the IRS next week. A huge dig on the IRS. We're going to talk about how it got started and where it's at today, the shenanigans that are happening, and how it's bloated, how it got bloated. We have so much to talk about with the IRS. So we're going to hit that one next week. And let me just share my screen. We'll get started on Julie Kelly. She is amazing. This girl, she has exposed so much with January 6th and all of that. But she had this post today. Just going to expand it so we can see it really well. I'm just going to go through her Twitter thread, and then I've got a clip of her speaking to this, which sort of sets the context before we start going through the unredacted items. I think that would be good context. So she posted it earlier. It's just a few post threads, so it's not super long, but I do want to go through it. So she said, new, thanks to, actually, do you want to help me read this? It's up to you with your migraine.
I'm good for right now.
Okay. All right.
Thanks to order by Judge Cannon, key evidence related to classified docs case is now unredacted. On the left, what DOJ Jack Smith wanted to conceal. On the right, now we know why. More proof of collaboration between Biden, White House, and NARA to concoct a case.
Yeah, so let's go to the next one.
Outrageous lies by Joe Biden, Attorney General Merrick Garland, and DOJ Jack Smith about independence from investigations in Trump. Biden, White House, and DOJ were intimately involved in developing a criminal case against Trump for records mismanagement. And it appears the first go around related to alleged destruction of government papers. Contrary to public and legal assertions, NARA was working with DOJ White House to craft a criminal referral by September 2021, 5 months before the official referral by NARA to DOJ in February 2022.
So before I move on, because there's two more posts, this is really important because, and she'll speak to this in a clip that I have, but they originally were going to go after Trump for destruction of records, but they couldn't prove that he destroyed any records, so they had to come up with something else. And this was long before there was any referral to the DOJ. So this is the timing, the timeline is really critical to pay attention to. All right. So do you want to go to the next one?
Sure. Now you know why the insiders like Andrew Weissman and Barb McCade are desperate to get rid of Judge Cannon. Without her courage on this matter, incriminating evidence of Biden's White House and DOJ running the investigative show behind the scenes would be buried maybe forever.
Oh, there's more, isn't there? Sorry.
DOJ told NARA what to do to cover their tracks.
Yeah, and we're going to go through and see all that, but this is the last one.
Biden Department of Energy also involved in the cover-up. The DOE discovered after Smith handed down his indictment that Trump had an active security clearance, so they retroactively terminated it.
Ooh. So that is really interesting, and I don't know if they're allowed to do that, but we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that past presidents are still
they still get
briefed on certain matters.
Yes, they still get briefed on national security. So this is incredible. This is so incredible. All right, so I've got a quick clip. So she was interviewed after she dropped this bombshell. And she was there are interviews of her in several places. They're super long, but I just have this small clip because it helps set the context before we go through the unredacted things and then give our thoughts on it. So let's listen to Julie here.
The FBI and DOJ, at least the DOJ, top officials, including the Office of the Deputy Attorney General, Lisa Monaco, deeply involved in creating this case. That is why Special Counsel Jack Smith and the DOJ wanted this material and this evidence under seal. And it was, for the most part, unredacted.
So before I continue, I want to highlight, if you recall, they had all this stuff under seal, and the whole reason that they had it under seal was because of what's being exposed today. And it was all redacted. All right. I just wanted to highlight the fact that she mentioned that it was under seal. Let's go ahead and play.
Made public on the docket yesterday.
So hold it. You're telling me that that there is now evidence as proven in the release of these documents by Judge Cannon that shows that the actual deputy White House counsel inside the West Wing was actually working in cahoots with Department of Justice, FBI, in the National Archives to kind of concoct a charge here against President Trump?
Correct. So what it looked like initially, Steve, is that they were going to create a records destruction case against Donald Trump in 2021. The archives and long-term career employees now in the Biden White House insisting that there were like 25 boxes of records that were missing and demanding that Trump turn those over. Well, his team, he had Presidential Records Act representatives. One of them was Mark Meadows, who was working with the archives trying to figure out what the hell they wanted. And they just kept making things up as they went along. And so they were already working and had already crafted what these records demonstrate. They were already drafting a criminal referral by September of 2021. Well, for what? It certainly wasn't for classified records, because they claim that they didn't know about that until January, February of 2022. So they were making something else up, a records destruction or something along those lines. And so this was another operation, DOJ, led by Lisa Monaco, the intelligence community, led by Avril Haines, both of whom very close advisors, as you know, to Barack Obama, one who runs the DOJ right now, the other who runs the intelligence community, going back to their old days, getting the gang back together, Russia collusion, FISAgate, which both Monaco and Haines were deeply involved with, and now concocting a documents case and then ending up what we have now, which is an Espionage Act and obstruction case against Trump and his two co-defendants.
All right. So that, she said so much in there. But
one thing that stood out to me was she mentioned destruction. Is that why they said they found those documents in the toilet?
that is a really good call out, good memory on that. Yeah, because she called out that they kept insisting records were missing, so they were going to accuse him of destroying records and say that all these boxes were missing, but they did have that whole toilet gate thing going on, which was so weird.
And it just fell off after a couple of days. Like,
Right. So here we have the timeline. It's so interesting. So Trump leaves the White House. He brings records with him because that's what all presidents have done, his presidential records. Then just in May of just a few months after Biden took office. So you wonder, like, they probably took all those months to come up with a plan to go after Trump. And can you just imagine? They're probably in a room whiteboarding, coming up with, well, could we get him on this? Could we get him on that? You know, look at all these indictments that came out. You know, all of this was coordinated, all of it. And what she mentions is the same players that were in on the Russia hoax were all involved in this. It's pretty incredible. It's so incredible. So, yeah, the timeline as well. Do we want to get in and start looking at what was redacted and giving our thoughts on that? Okay. So let's go back to pulling up the browser. So the first item she brought up was this document. This was the first page she brought up. So what I did was I took the unredacted page and I highlighted the areas that were redacted so that we can go through those. So here it is. And I have a question. Well, I'm going to ask the question after we go through some of this. So maybe we can take turns and call out the items that were redacted. I'm going to start with the redacted part, maybe starting right up here. So May 2021, less than 5 months after the end of President Trump's term, NARA General Counsel Gary Stern, now note that this highlighted area I'm about to read was redacted, sent an internal email attaching a draft letter to President Trump's PRA representatives. That's the Presidential Record Acts representatives. Stern noted, now why did they have to redact that? Right?
that's.
Isn't that strange? Like,
Why are you covering your tracks if there's no reason to cover your tracks?
well, and like, what is the protocol for redacting? Shouldn't it be you're protecting a witness? You're protecting national security. And that's it. There should be no other reason for having redacted documents. And you know what this reminds me of? Sorry, I'm kind of going off the rails here. But I think back to the Russia hoax and how hard Devin Nunes fought for information around that FISA. And he kept getting stonewalled by the intelligence agencies. And the FBI would send completely redacted documents or would refuse to send them at all. And so you wonder what was in, like when Congress requests records, what's in those when they're redacted. They shouldn't, like, the Congress people who have oversight into the Justice Department or the FBI have security clearance, so they shouldn't have anything redacted.
Exactly.
So, and obviously, when we see this here, you've got to know that the reasons that they're redacting things may have nothing to do with national security or protecting a witness or protecting the identification of a whistleblower or something like that. I wish Congress would just pass a law about that. Like, that should be the law. Because I don't know if it's just their process, their standard, their practice, and why they're allowed to do that. Anyway,
Just
I'll
remember, criminals
Uh-huh.
don't care about laws.
I know. And they're the criminals, and they're the ones supposed to be getting the criminals, and yet, yeah. It just, yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to go off on another tangent, unrelated. All right, let's get through these. So then Stern noted that he had several conversations with White House ORMs, which I have no idea what that means. I don't know what an ORM is. Do you?
I do not.
Okay. Office of Records Management, maybe? That's
Could
my
be.
guess. Several conversations with the White House ORMs, and that person
Office of
40
Records
had
Management.
raised some of these concerns directly with David of the NARA, the National Archives. So this has nothing to do with national security, why it was redacted. Who knows? Stern's draft conceded that things were very chaotic, as they always are in the course of a one-term transition, and he acknowledges that the transfer of Trump's electronic records is still ongoing and won't be complete for several more months. Why did they block that out? NARA employees NARA employees explaining to FBI that it's not uncommon that the Presidential Records Act material collection extends past the close of any presidential administration, sometimes well after the close of any given presidential administration. What in here is redactable? Like, should have been redacted.
What's incriminating in there? What are they trying to hide?
Well, that's what I want to know. So, what do you think? Like, out of this, all of this stuff.
I think that they don't want it to be common knowledge that, like they say that the PRA material collection extends past the close of any presidential
Right.
presidential administration.
Mhm.
Obama took millions of pages of information when he left.
Exactly.
And they keep, reminding him to digitally upload everything that he took. And I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure it's still not done.
Exactly. And I think it's also hiding the fact that that Trump's team was working with them the whole time and cooperating and letting them know that this is normal course of business, and that these things take time. That's what I get out of this first document. Just the fact that what those conversations were and who was involved. So, like David Ferrero of NARA was mentioned here, and they probably didn't want his name out there. So yeah, and the fact that they did communicate to them to say it's going to take several more months because it's a lot to have to transition.
Absolutely.
All right. So we'll move on to item 2. This whole document.
What information do we actually get?
That's yeah. In an August 30th, 2021 email, then you can't see what it is. On September 1st, 2021, you have no idea what it's saying.
The email stated that.
Yeah. Stern's email stated that. And then there's references. And then they have another September 21 date without disclosing that NARA had already drafted a referral letter and contacted DOJ, Deputy White House Counsel Jonathan Sue, and that's it. So Jonathan Sue was, I don't think he is anymore, but he was the counsel in Biden's White House when for his first year. I don't know when he left. But yeah, so then they just have references. And Stern sent an internal email. So there's like zero information in here, right? You can't make anything out of it.
No.
All right, so I'll let you read this next one so we can see what are they hiding. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Oh, yeah, I'll make it a little bigger, and then I'll scroll. Okay.
So in an August 30th, 2021 email, Ferrero threatened one of President Trump's PRA representatives that he was assuming an alleged and non-existent 24 boxes of records have been destroyed.
Non-existent. They covered up non-existent. Go ahead.
And have been destroyed, that he was obligated to report it to the Hill, DOJ, and the White House.
Interesting.
On September 1st, 2021, Stern circulated a letter that we could consider sending to the Attorney General about missing Trump records.
Okay, so before we continue, remember what Julie Kelly said. Their initial discussion was about destroyed documents. So here they were setting the narrative about Trump destroying records, which they never went after him for because it didn't happen. And they were asking for records that didn't exist. All right, continue.
Person 21 and person 53, still redacted, began drafting the DOJ referral letter during the first week of September 2021. Stern's email stated that he had informally reached out to the DOJ counsel about this issue, and that White House counsel is now aware of the issue and has asked that I keep them in the loop to the extent that we make any reference to White House Office of
Records management.
Yes,
Yeah.
that.
So right away, the White House is involved, which is interesting. Anyway, all right, let's continue.
In late September 2021, without disclosing that NARA had already drafted a referral letter and contacted DOJ, Deputy White House Counsel Jonathan Sue asked one of President Trump's PRA representatives to permit person 40 to access notes from the Trump administration relating to the records handling. Sue then intervened when Stern offered to provide a copy of the notes to President Trump's PRA representative. Could we discuss the process before anything is provided to him?
Wow. Wow. Continue.
Stern agreed to coordinate on this issue with the Biden administration, but informed Sue that the request was atypical. Normally, we would have to provide the records to him per the notification review process before we could provide anything to you. 2 days later, Stern assured Sue that the PRA representative had not asked to see these records.
Wow. So they went around Trump straight to the White House counsel to pretty much coordinate.
You can't follow procedure, though, if you're, trying to cover something up.
Wow. And that's interesting. So please, let's discuss the process before you provide anything to him. Wow. They shouldn't have even been involved at all. At all.
There were so many hands in this pot that didn't need to be.
There were. So they're obviously this this redaction, it's so obvious. They're trying to hide the communications and coordination that they were trying to do to set up Trump. It's so obvious. Okay, we've got 2 more pages to get through. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts if you have any on YouTube or Twitter or Rumble. We're mostly chatting in Rumble, so if you guys are over on YouTube and Twitter, come join us on Rumble. But we'll be able to see your comments on any platform. So
I have a question.
Sure.
Can we go back to the redacted page?
Yeah, absolutely.
So see this, like these examples or exhibits, I'm not sure what the EX is supposed to be. Do they actually include those so that they can look at the examples and everything? Or when they send this over, or is it just this and then they have no access to the things that are also?
Oh, I bet those are exhibits and they probably are attached. But if they have any information like this, those might also be redacted. So I don't know if Julie Kelly, she didn't post every single document. So I would love to be able to go in and see what those references are and whether or not we have access to them, because they could still be sealed or not. I thought the judge opened up all the records, but I'm not 100% sure. And they've been going after this judge, by the way, because she is opening up the information and making some
Judge
weird.
Cannon.
Yep. So, all right, our third page then is this page. There's the whole first half of it's like completely redacted. According to FBI reports, Stern and Jay Basanko, also of NARA. We have no
Damn it.
idea.
On January 24th,
Yeah. Then NARA's sham referral on January 25th, 2022. We don't know. And then it continues. So we'll go through and we'll read page 3. And all right. Go ahead, Moxie.
Sue, on behalf of the Biden administration, referred NARA to DOJ on January 21st, 2022. According to an FBI report, Stern and Person 53, also of NARA, consulted with Sue in late January 2021. During the consult, Sue referred Stern and Person 53 to Department of Justice Associate Deputy Attorney General. That's a really long title. Emily Leb and Associated Deputy Attorney General David Newman on January 24th, the day after Willow was born. Leb and Newman instructed Person 53 and Stern to refer the matter to their office of the Inspector General, NARA OIG, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, ODNIIG. It's a lot of letters.
Look at look at all the people they're getting involved in this. And it's a normal records transfer. This is why they're hiding all this. Look at all the people.
When's the last time that all of these people were involved in another transfer of power?
Yeah. And just documents, presidential documents. I mean, anyway, continue.
When they went to court over Clinton having tapes in his sock drawer.
Yeah.
All of this?
No, there's no criminal prosecution whatsoever with that.
Newman also provided DOJ contacts Jay Bratt, chief of the National Security Division, Corey Edmondson, chief of the Public Integrity Section, Person 53, and Stern had additional conversations with Bratt and Edmondson regarding next steps.
Next steps. So ridiculous. Okay, let's see what else they cut out. Last one.
NARA sham referral. That's interesting that it's in quotes. On January 25th, 2022, acting on instructions from the White House and DOJ, NARA sent information regarding the 15 boxes to NARA OIG. On the same day, NARA OIG wrote to Thomas Monheim, the Inspector General of the Intelligence Community, that our agency just gave us a quick brief on what appears to be a very high-level potential spillage and records management issue.
Isn't it interesting that that was not redacted?
That wasn't redacted. 3 days later, in an apparent effort to paper the file, Stern sent NARA OIG, what does paper the file mean? An email with the subject line, issue regarding potential.
Yeah, and it continues. So, focusing on what they redacted versus what they didn't redact is super interesting. Very telling.
It is.
I mean, I guess I already gave my thoughts on it. It shows that they pulled in a bunch of agencies and a lot of big people were involved in this ridiculous witch hunt. What are some of your thoughts, Moxie?
That's a lot of titles. that are in there. Like,
I mean, the ODNI, seriously?
right?
Director of National Intelligence?
But look at all
Wasn't
those
that-
names they didn't want in the documents.
Yeah. And not only did they not want the names, I think they didn't want to expose because they could have just cut out the names and put person 53 like they did for the NARA person 53, whoever that is. But that's crazy how much coordination
Which
was
means
done.
there's 53 other people that are redacted from this.
Yeah, persons not named. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited to go through these court records, but let's look at the last one. I don't know what your thoughts are, folks in chat. We want to chat with you about this. We don't just want to sit and read to you, but I'd love to hear any of your thoughts too. I just find this story huge, huge.
It's giant.
It's yeah. All right. Let's just look at the fourth page. We don't have a ton
In the
redacted.
memorandum.
I know. In the memorandum. And
Nothing.
then they've got exhibits listed and references. And then it'll be interesting. Let's see what was not redacted. After locating this memorandum, interspersed with the huge volume of discovery, President Trump requested additional disclosures relating to the Energy Department's determination and other security clearance issues. Yeah, I'm super curious about that security clearance thing. And you know what's interesting about that? It's the Energy Department. And you know what clearance is issued through the Energy Departments? Q clearance. So it's kind of interesting. And Carrie says, oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first practice to deceive. That is the truth. That is the truth. And the office declined to provide any additional information. So this is very generic, kind of not a big deal doesn't give away any information. To date, the production of the special counsel's office concerning these issues appears to have been limited to a June 15th, 2023 FBI document reporting that, let's find out what that FBI document reported. According to intelligence community policy guidance, and then they list the policy. So let's just go ahead and dig into it, shall we? All right. In the memorandum, the Energy Department's Assistant General Counsel disclosed that the agency's Central Personnel Clearance Index and Clearance Action Tracking System reflected an active Q clearance for President Trump. Well, would you look at that?
Gee.
You know, I didn't even read through these. I was highlighting them, but I thought, oh, Energy Department, that's where you have the Q clearance. Interesting. Based on, okay. I'm sorry, I can't get over this one. I love it. All right. Based on information provided by the Office of Environment, Health, Safety and Security, EHSS, and documents reviewed by the Office of the General Counsel, an Assistant General Counsel instructed that the relevant systems be immediately amended and promptly modified to reflect the terminated status of President Trump's Q clearance. What date was that on? I wonder what date that was.
I think.
When did Q stop posting? Okay.
Technically, the end of 2020.
No, I mean the most recent ones. I'm curious now. All right. The Energy Department concluded that these steps were appropriate as a matter of law based
right around
on
June, actually, I think.
retroactive interpretation of the terms of President Trump's clearance. And I'm not asking because I think Trump was Q plus, not Q, but I'm super curious because actually he there was that post in June. Was that 2022 or 2021? Actually, I'll pull it up and we'll look. And there was another one, I think, the following November, if I recall. But we'll find out. We'll look. Okay. Let's see what the FBI document reported. The scattered castles. Castles? What do you say, castles? What? Castles. Interesting. The scattered castles check run on 6/14/2023 for former President Donald J. Trump was negative. I wonder what a scattered castles check is. Ooh, I bet Moxie is live digging, researching right now as I speak. What is a scattered castles check run? This is intriguing to me. Oh, here it is. The program name for the IC Security Clearance Repository for All Clearance and Access Determination. I wonder if that's what Red Castle, Green Castle, and stuff like that is related to. I wonder if it's related to any
Security
kind
clearances.
of security clearance. That is really
What is
interesting.
it? Scattered Castles is an intelligent community personnel security database that verifies personnel security access and visit certifications.
Yep. Interesting.
But that's just Scattered Castles. That's not the check run. So I'm guessing that's the check that they ran through the system.
Well, yeah, they must have
That's
the
interesting.
ability to run checks on that. That is so interesting. June,
Indeed,
so
that is.
Deplorable Mike, you said June 15th is Trump's birthday. Oh, 6/14. Oh, his birthday is on 6/14.
Flag Day.
They did it on his birthday. They did a security run on his birthday. Isn't that interesting? Very cool.
That
You
doesn't
are
sound like a
right.
coincidence at all.
Wow. Okay. So, guys, I was working all day and I saw this article and I knew it was going to be big. I think this is huge. I want to dig more on anything else that was unredacted and see if there's more. This is so fascinating. And it's huge for President Trump. It's huge. He has so much ammunition to show that he is being politically persecuted, that they have coordinated and communicated on trying to get him first on a destruction of records. That didn't fly, so now they're trying to use this RICO. Is it RICO for the documents? No. What is it?
I don't think so.
Espionage. Espionage. RICO is the Georgia thing, isn't it? So I'm trying to keep up. I have to go watch Just Human because he keeps up with all of this stuff. Oh my gosh, this is just fascinating. What do you guys think? It's pretty amazing. Yes, Magnolia, 6/14 is Trump's birthday. That's the day that they did the Scattered Castles check run on him. I think we're going to have a lot more to talk about. We probably are going to need to do a part 2 after we're able to dig into this a little more. Or I'll just post. I'm sure Julie Kelly, she's fabulous. She's a journalist. She can do this full time. I can't. Unfortunately, I wish I could. I wish I could do this stuff full time. But yeah, what do you guys think? Isn't this fascinating? Is this going to be a huge story? I think Trump has a lot to. I think they're in trouble. I think there is going to be some. Oh, Carrie said there's going to be some serious consequences for those complicit. This is huge. Wow, this was 45 minutes. I didn't know it would take us 45 minutes. I thought we'd get through this pretty quickly, but wow, that went by fast for me. I don't know if it did for you guys. You know what I want to know? You know what? I'm going to pull this up. I want to go back to Julie Kelly really quick before we give any closing thoughts or say goodbye or see what you guys have to say, give you a chance to comment. I just want to see if she posted anything else on this today because I haven't had a chance to check her out. Oh, she's done a lot of interviews, it looks like. Yeah, everybody wants to interview her now. It's huge. This is a huge story. So this is where I got my clip from. But maybe it wasn't here. It was like a 12-minute video that Carly posted. This is probably that 12-minute video. But yeah, go, I guess, follow her on Twitter, and then I'll be posting I'll be watching. And if she does any more, posts anymore, I will go ahead and get that posted right away, like on Telegram and on X and Truth Social. So, interesting, fascinating stuff.
It is.
Did I go to Q Alerts and see what the date was when? Q Alerts app, right? I'm trying to do this with one finger because I'm holding my microphone. Oh, it was November 27th, 2022. They ran that check to make sure he didn't have security clearance on June 2023. Interesting. That is interesting. And we haven't had another Q drop since.
Interesting.
It's just a interesting coincidence, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, any closing thoughts from you, Moxie?
I'm really glad that we didn't try to tack this on to the stuff we were going to cover.
Well, just think about all these indictments. I guess that's my closing thoughts. I think the boomerang's starting to come around, and this is just one of many boomerangs because, man, the MSM, they were so excited to announce those indictments, and they all came one after the other after the other. How do you not know that this was coordinated? This was completely coordinated. It's so obvious. And they sure have been, like, after 2020, the DOJ, FBI, all of those intelligence agencies are just blatant and in our face with political persecutions. They don't even care if we complain about it. They don't even care if we expose it. They even sit and testify to Congress, almost giving them the middle finger. It's like, what are you going to do about it? That's kind of how I feel about it. But I feel like they are going to get a boomerang. It just takes a long time.
It's a boomerang, but it's a boomerang.
Oh, Natalie, I didn't see that you came in. I'm sorry. So many people out there saying nothing is happening, but God is tumbling their house of cards. What a great comment to end the show on. Well, guys, let's keep our eyes on this one. It's huge. And I hope you all have a good night. I love that you joined us tonight. And next week, we'll be talking about the IRS. So excited. I am. I'm so excited to talk about the IRS because that one was a long time coming. I don't know. I don't know if you've been digging on that a long time too, but just like I've been thinking about the IRS for a while now.
I have been too.
And I might be ready to have my first Targeting the Innocent show this weekend. I have a few more things to tidy up. I've been working on, like, I was helping Pepe a little bit with his article he posted today, that huge dig. I did a video for that too and was just chatting with him about that and helping a little bit. But that was a huge dig that he did. So that was some time-consuming work it's been. And so I'm trying really hard. So I'm hoping this Saturday I'll be able to have everything buttoned up and get it started. I was actually hoping to wait until Pepe posted this Franklin scandal article because I kind of want that to be my first show covering some of that. because it is about targeting the innocent. So now that he's posted that, I might go ahead and get that scheduled for this weekend. So I hope you guys can join. I hope if you like this show that you give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And we appreciate everybody who's chatted with us and joined us. And we will see you on the digital battlefield. All right. Good night, everyone. Love you.
Bye.
Mm.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all